Communicating the value of your digitized collections can be quite a challenge. There isn't a set of standards for this that the profession agrees on, and it can be difficult to translate your typical metrics into a form that appeals to your stakeholders. However, there is an approach that can work. You can use your assessment data for this. How? With a faceted approach to telling stories. Stories about how the use and reuse of your digital collections impacts your community. So what is a faceted approach? With this approach, you assemble key pieces of information, or facets, that build a story. The facets can be as simple as who, what, when, where, why, and how. Let's look at some examples, starting with who. For this facet, consider who's telling the story, who the story is about, and who you're telling the story to. People involved could be internal stakeholders like librarians, archivists, curators, IT staff, or repository managers. They could also be external stakeholders like academic researchers, the general public, grant agencies, or peer institutions. You'll also need to consider what. What are the specific data points you'll use to tell your story? For example, you could include anecdotes, usage statistics, and the results of data collection and analysis. In addition to what, you should consider when. Ask yourself how much time you'll need to collect the data and tell the story. For example, do you need a longitudinal study, or can you use snapshots in time, or anecdotes? Now consider where. In your story, you'll include information on where you performed the assessment. For example, your assessment might have taken place in an academic institution, public library, community archives, or indigenous communities. Another fact to consider is why. You'll need to consider your ultimate goal for this story. For example, you might include your story in an annual report. You might use it to communicate value to a board or governing body. You might use it to support a grant application. Or you might use it to promote the use of your collections to your local community. You'll also need to consider how. How will you tell the stories? What approach will you take, and what style will be most effective? Should it be a formal report? Maybe it's better as a blog post or a video for social media. You could also consider writing it as an elevator pitch. That's a brief statement of a problem, your solution, and the key benefits. Or you could create infographics, flyers, charts, or visualizations. After you consider these facets and come up with answers for each of them, you'll be better positioned to craft a narrative that will reach your intended audience. Later in this tutorial, you'll find several articles that describe successful impact reporting in the real world. These will give you some inspiring examples of a variety of methods that you might consider. Good luck with your stories of impact.